Hey everyone, welcome back to the Kia Hyundai channel. As you can tell, we're in a very different setting, and that's because we're at the Canadian International Auto Show in Toronto, and we've got the 2025 or 2026 Hyundai Ioniq 9. Today we're going to give you a quick in-depth walkthrough of the exterior and the interior, starting off with the front end of the vehicle. Now, of course, this is going to be a pre-production model, but it is, however, in the calligraphy trim. In North America, we have received the calligraphy for most of our models, so it's probably going to look a lot like this. Let's take a quick look at the front end first, starting off with the daytime running lights and headlamp unit. As you can tell, it's pixelated, so in true Ioniq fashion, we've seen this on the Ioniq 5, the Ioniq 6, and sure enough, it's going to be on the Ioniq 9. It looks fantastic and definitely gives this vehicle a modern yet futuristic approach. Fully pixelated, fully LED, and fully fashionable. Now, a couple of the things you'll notice on the front end, just like the Santa Fe, there's a couple of H motifs, but they're not as strong. So this body color portion of the front end kind of swoops downward into an H if you really look for it. I'm just looking for these things now after seeing the Santa Fe being revealed. Your main headlamp's located right over here, definitely a little bit lower in the front of the vehicle, but still high enough where you're getting plenty of visibility. Towards this section of the front end, you'll notice a lot of glossy black elements. There's also some forward parking sensors as well too, and a forward-facing camera. We've seen this so many times on our higher-end Hyundai models. We'll get a full 360 view camera called a surround view monitor, as well as a blind view monitor for your side mirrors. So a ton of standard safety functions will be available in the Ioniq 9, and of course when you go to the calligraphy trim, everything's just going to be amplified. However, you get so much standard, and that's honestly what we expect from Hyundai, right? A couple of the things are going to be the advanced safety functions, so things like our advanced forward collision avoidance assist systems, as well as our driver attention warning. Charlotte will talk more about that later. Now, when it comes to what powers this vehicle, you'll get a 110.3 lithium-ion kilowatt polymer battery that never comes out right, and it's based on our 400 and 800 volt platform. So that means this vehicle can accept charge times extremely quickly. Did you know that there's actually not many vehicles out there that support an 800 volt platform? So Kia, Hyundai, and Genesis are really your only vehicles under $100,000 that do so. The other things are things like the Cybertruck or the new Silverado EV. This makes a lot more sense to some people. All right, let's take a look at the wheels now. I absolutely love what Hyundai does for the wheels, more specifically on the calligraphy models. So this is a 21-inch alloy wheel, and what I really do like about it is the fact that, of course, it's still an aerodynamic style wheel. We see that on all of our EVs, but it looks very traditional, so it doesn't look too different than what we see on something like the Palisade. I personally love it, and I know EV wheels are always a hot topic. All-season tire on that bad boy too. And this vehicle is equipped in the all-wheel drive configuration. So if you are going to be shopping for the Ioniq 9, I know there's not a lot of concrete facts out there, but what we do know is there will be rear-wheel drive and all-wheel drive configurations. Plenty of horsepower in either models, with your rear-wheel drive long range offering a bit more range due to the fact that it's not powering two motors. All right, surrounding your wheels, you'll notice we have beautiful body color arches. I've yet to figure out what these do, but they're there and they look good. Now, of course, with all of our EVs, there's a huge emphasis on the design to be aerodynamic, of course. We want this vehicle to get as much range as possible but still look good, and I think they knocked it out of the park with this look. It's so funky, it's so futuristic, and in this green, which I hope makes it to production, I think it looks so, so good. We'll also talk about the door handles just in terms of aerodynamics. A lot of people don't really think about door handles when it comes to the efficiency of their vehicle, but you'll notice when the vehicle's unlocked, your door handles will be out. You do have a little bit of an Ioniq 9 badging and a little pixelated indent there for your digital key entry. This means you can easily get in and out of your vehicle either by having your phone on you, if it's synced up, of course, to the car, and of course, also with your key fob. Another thing is, of course, when those door handles do retract, it's going to make the body extremely slippery, giving you all that efficiency and aerodynamics. For your roof rails, they're flush with the body, or not flush, but flush style roof rails, definitely lower profile. And then towards the back end, you'll see, much like the Santa Fe, we have a very, very flat rear end. And this is actually a huge advantage, because when it comes in terms to putting your stuff in there, you have an extremely open space. And don't worry, you guys, I will give you a quick walkthrough of what's on the back door as well. So let's take a look inside. You can see the entry, extremely inviting, very welcoming, and not too high that if you are carrying a lot of goods with you, you have to lug it into a giant SUV. Speaking of giant SUV, I did not give the dimensions of this vehicle, so it's about 200 inches long and almost 80 inches wide. It's no small SUV. However, I've driven the Kia EV9, which is very comparable in size and based on the same platform. It is so easy to drive, steers like butter. It's so smooth, plenty of torque and so much power. Even if you're not looking for a sporty vehicle, without a doubt, the drive will put a smile on your face. It's also so driver focused, so you'll really appreciate the cabin. So stick around until Charlotte talks about the interior to see just what that's like. Let's go back to the vehicle though. All right, so this is a 3-row all-electric SUV, of course. You can see your 2 seats in the rear here, 6-seater configuration. You do have buttons on the side here to individually knock down your 2nd and 3rd row seats. So you can see right and left are separated, and that's them in action. Not exactly quick, but of course it does save you, I guess, a little effort of opening each individual door to knock the seats down. Speaking of saving you some effort, there is a function on this vehicle that I can't exactly show because number 1, I don't have the key, and number 2, this is not our car and we're at an auto show and there's people around, but it's called Remote Smart Park Assist. So if you guys checked out our videos on that, essentially you can move your vehicle forwards and backwards from the key fob. Super handy if you are parking your vehicle in a very tight parking spot or someone parks so close to you, because your vehicle will just walk out towards you or reverse out towards you. Check out our video on that if you want to know more though. Again, we do have LED lighting back here. There is an emergency tailgate release, a 12-volt and 125-volt outlet back here. So if you do need to plug in any sort of larger accessory, like, I don't know, a toaster oven, you can do that here. Maybe not a toaster oven, but a smaller appliance. We'll give this a close. Of course, you'll get a proximity liftgate and a smart liftgate. The height is adjustable, and you can also have it function so that you can simply walk up to your vehicle and it'll open on the fly for you. The back end, of course, extremely stylish. I love the taillights, so this section gives me a lot of Cadillac Escalade vibes. It's a very strong, very vertical. However, it extends beautifully into the high-mounted stop lamp up over here. Everything's pixelated on the lights, which I personally love. Makes the car look so funky, like I said up at the front. But here's another nice design touch. For the rear end, the Ioniq 9 badging is stamped into the back. It's completely flush, you guys. I mean, you can feel the difference because it's a different material, but it's so smooth, so streamlined. I love it. Speaking of streamlined, they took my advice. I guess maybe they didn't because this is a brand new model, but they put the rear wiper underneath the spoiler here, and that just cleans up the rear end so nicely. A couple more lights I'll point out is, of course, your tail lights, high-mounted stop lamp, reverse lights down here, also in that cubic format, full LED, of course, rear parking sensors, your rear tow hook, and a lot of gloss black to kind of break up whatever body color you're getting. If you get this in a black exterior, you'll really appreciate the fact that almost everything's blacked out. However, anything else like a white, it'll definitely break up some of those really white accents and give your vehicle a little bit more contrast and, you know, some sporty styling. I personally love this vehicle. It only gets better on the inside, so let's move over to Charlotte.
Now, you can really tell this vehicle is all about the details, and it starts even with our door handles in the sense that it says Ioniq 9 written in, and I think it looks really cool. Just a fun little detail for all of the fun and excellent details that we have on the interior. So I think it's time that we take a look. Now, keep in mind, this is a pre-production model. This is going to be the ultimate calligraphy trim, or calligraphy trim. I'm not too sure what the trim naming is going to be like. So some features may differ, especially depending on where it's going to be, whether it's here in Canada or in the US. So remember, pre-production model, nothing is concrete, but let's still take a look at what they've got. On the interior, you'll notice that we have some great design details. We have a two-tone with some gray, and then also with a lighter gray here, almost a white. And then we have some super fun detailing on this side with some ambient lighting beneath. So super fun touches. If you can't tell, I'm gonna say super fun a lot because I think this vehicle really does encompass fun in some great design details. On the side, you'll notice that we have our Ergo Motion seats. So that's that massage seat that we know and love. You're also gonna see your memory seats, your mirror controls, which are power folding. They appear to be anyways, which also will sync with your memory seats. And then of course, you're gonna have all of your window controls. Down below, you'll notice our bottle holder, and then one of our Bose premium sound system speakers. So it will be great knowing that we will be seeing a premium sound system on at least the top trim of these vehicles. All right, seats, let's be real. We know they're gonna be Ergo Motion. We know they're gonna be comfortable. And with memory seats, we know there's gonna be a lot of different ways for you to configure your seat. So you're gonna have your regular 6-way power adjustable, but you're also gonna have your driver's knee extender and your relaxation seat, which is actually what I hit instead of the driver's knee extender, but hopefully you can see it now coming up. In addition to that, you have 4-way lumbar support, and you can adjust the amount of bolster that the seat actually gives you. Now, even if you don't have the full bolstered effect on the seat, they do offer quite amount of padding. They're very cushy, and they do feel like you tuck you in, which is perfect for a vehicle that packs so much torque with it being an EV. The seats themselves, I can assume they're going to be a synthetic leather. And again, we're getting a nice two-tone approach. So the nice dark gray at the top with the lighter at the bottom, which again, looks absolutely stunning in my opinion. Up top, you're gonna notice some venting. We'll see our charge door, our hood release, our tailgate release, traction control, electronic parking brake, and a brightness adjuster. Our steering wheel, you guessed it, it's two-tone. And in the center, we are going to have an illuminated Morse code H for Hyundai, of course, and a split between our driving and media controls. Now, something that's going to look a little bit different is what we have directly in front of me. So this is going to be a part of Hyundai's new advanced safety suite, which is going to be their forward attention warning, a new safety feature that they are implementing that we have typically seen on our top trims. In addition, everything else that we're going to see on the steering wheel is going to be our lighting stalk, our wiper stalk, but also our paddle shifters, which can be used to adjust your regenerative braking by simply tapping on them. Because, you know, there's no gears. We're not shifting through anything. It's just regen. I'll have Gabby come around to the side and we'll keep talking about what we've got in front of me. I'm closing this up. Bye. Now, our passenger seat is going to be equally impressive and equally comfortable. You'll see it's got the same look, but also the controls are going to be very similar. We still have that four-way lumbar support. You have a driver's knee extender, or passenger knee extender in this case. So again, very comfortable, and you can DIY that comfort seat with that knee extender. So fantastic for both the driver and the passenger. Because this is also a vehicle that would be the top trim, I'm going to guess that we'll see heated and ventilated seats for both of these front seats, and possibly in the second row too. When it comes to screens, although they are turned off, you can see dual 12.25-inch screens, which I am guessing we will see the 12.3-inch multimedia as something that is standard, which again, super excited for. With that, and with that software, is also going to come things like over-the-air updates and Hyundai's BlueLink capabilities, which is going to be their telematics system. I also just think the dash has some really great detailing to it. You have ambient lighting under your screen, this beautiful chrome stretching across, really brightening up the cabin, and then also this almost metal-like sheen that we see with calligraphy embossing. Looks absolutely stunning in my opinion. You notice I'll say that a lot too. We also have some great vent detailing along here, and what I love is the fact that we still have real buttons and dials when it comes to our media controls, and then also our climate controls, and it looks like we're going to have dual zone. Now to the side, something that's going to look a little bit different is the fact that we have our start and stop button integrated into our shifter. So column mounted shifter with start stop, and then from here you're going to be able to cycle through your gears, drive, park, neutral, reverse, etc. Now, because this has been moved to the column, it's really going to open up the center console area, which means you're going to have more storage space and also a little bit more shoulder and hip room. Down below, you'll notice the fact that we have a spot for your key right here. You're also going to have some storage space, a UVC, so this is going to be an ultraviolet tray, like cleanser tray, something similar to what we see in the Santa Fe. Lots of USB-C, so lots of charging, and also a 12-volt. A fingerprint scanner as well. 2 cup holders, and tons going on here. So for your safety features, auto hold, your drive and terrain modes, downhill braking assist, your parking sensors, and that rear view camera. Now, I'm going to guess for a vehicle of this size and similar to Kia's EV9, we will be seeing a full 360 camera on this vehicle, at least in our top trims. You're also going to have your wireless phone charger, and you'll notice that all of these little grippy materials are going to have that pixelated design to them, which again is really keeping true to what we see on the exterior and the interior of this vehicle. This center console is also going to follow the same suit that we see in Hyundai Santa Fe. So you're able to open it from here. You can take a look at all the storage we have down below. That's pretty deep if you ask me. But if your passengers in the second row need to access it too, don't worry. It's bi-directional. It opens from both sides, and even as you pull out the tray, which we'll show in a couple minutes, you even have more storage than what's pictured here. Can you get any better than that? Let's see if I can get this back in. Okay, second row. I gotta say, guys, this is pretty impressive. It's pretty spacious. It's pretty comfortable. One thing I want to point out right off the bat is look at the floor. It's completely flat. So because we have this vehicle that's built on Kia and Hyundai's eGMP, which is going to be that skateboard style charge platform or architecture platform, it gives us this completely flat floor, which means I have even more space, whether for my feet or for running storage underneath. And the same is going to be true for our third row. Now let's take a look at some of the amenities that we do have back here as well. We've got pockets, we have USB-Cs, heated and ventilated seats for the second row, even better, baby. And then you also have multi-zone climate control. So that means that the front can set theirs, we can set ours back here, and everyone's gonna be nice and comfortable. And you'll even have this area here where you're able to pull out this drawer and you've got even more storage space. The seats themselves, I love that they really mimic what we see for the driver's seats. Again, incredibly comfortable. And if you take a look at the door, you'll see more speakers, cup holders, and ambient lighting. Also up top on our windows, you're going to notice that we have integrated sunshades, and that's fantastic because these windows are quite large. It's going to be hard to find something that isn't custom for these if you want it to really encompass that full area. These seats themselves also have multiple different ways of configuration. I can bring them forward, bring them backwards. I have a knee extender back here too, and of course I can adjust my backrest too. So lots of different ways, and we have adjustable armrests located right at the sides. Up top, in case you missed it, beautiful panoramic sunroof. Absolutely massive on a vehicle of this size, and I also like that we have rooftop integrated vents with this nice light gray suede headliner. All right, I think we ought to take a look at the third row. So super easy to get to the third row. Gabby's giving us a little bit of a demo right there. These seats are power folding, and like she showed in the trunk, you can access them from the actual cargo portion. Back here again, because these seats are on that movable rail system, I love that I can adjust the amount of legroom that the third row is going to get. I also really like that they didn't try to cram a third seat back here because it makes these feel like more of a real seat, and they are quite comfortable, I will say. The synthetic leather, it's very buttery. They have a nice amount of comfort and lumbar support. So overall, this is a pretty good third row. Some of my favorite amenities that we have back here too is the fact that we have speakers. You can actually go and adjust your amount of recline in the third row, which you don't see too often. I like that I've got cup holders, and I even have a USB-C with my own venting too. Fantastic. I love it when SUVs have vents in the third row. I think that is so important, especially because these have lower latch anchors and tethers. You can have kids back here. You want them to be able to get some ventilation with those rooftop vents. On this side, I'll just point out the fact that you're going to have those same controls, more speakers, dual cup holders, and a USB-C.
So that sums up our exterior and interior walkthrough of our pre-production Hyundai Ioniq 9. Of course, we are called the Kia Hyundai channel for a reason, so if you want to see more in-depth videos in the future, make sure you follow along, hit the subscribe button, and
We'll see you next time.
bye.
Bye.